Hello all, this is your Nimi Rijo and today I am with you with yet another poem of the third unit. Okay, it is a very long poem, and if you look into at this stress you might feel that this poem is a very long and it's a very tough poem, but it's a very simple poem and you can get it through very easily. Okay, so the name of the poem is How to Tell Wild Animals. You know the specialty of wild animals, right? So over here the poet is trying to help you to identify the wild animals. Before moving into the poet, we should know something about the poet. How to Tell Wild Animals is written by Carolyn Wells. Okay, if you can speak about Carolyn Wells, she is an American poet and she was a person who was born during the 1860s. Okay, and she also died during the 1942. And if you can look into Carolyn has made this poem. Although you might think, okay, it's about wild animals attacking a person, it can be something of hard kind of topic, but no, she has put it in a humorous way. To make everyone cry, that's an easy process, but to make a person laugh through humorous way of explaining is very difficult. So over here she is trying to put in the humorous elements in the poem. Okay, and also while you read this poem you might feel that there are one or two sentences, maybe in every stanza you'll find certain mistakes, grammatical mistakes in the lines, but ensure that the reason is because she has made that mistake purposely so that she would get the attention of the reader, as well as she wants to use a particular technique too. Okay, that's also a part of humorous way explaining. So initially we move on to the first stanza, line by line explanation. After completing all the stanza, we will be moving on the poetic devices, and after poetic device the most important questions will be discussed. So ensure you watch the video completely. Okay, so let's begin this episode. We'll move on to the first stanza. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if they should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. So in the very first stanza the poet is describing, or maybe you can also say the poet is trying to speak about the Asian lion. Now we'll move on to the first two lines. Listen carefully. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, if by chance you are going to the jungles to the eastern side, then what will happen? And if they should to you advance, when you read it itself, you know there's some problem with the sentence, and that's what I said. In between there will be some grammatical error. This is one grammatical error sentence. Okay, so this technique of making an error by purpose, that is called the method of inversion. Okay, maybe right now, yeah, maybe I'm here. Okay, what is inversion? We'll discuss it in detail in the end, all the poet devices, but just still, because when you go in you might feel there's this error in the sentence. That's why I just gave an example. What is inversion? Inversion is making an grammatical error by purpose by the poet. Okay, maybe it can be, the reason can be just to get your attention, but over here the poet has used it purposely. So if you're going to east by chance, and if they should to you advance, and in advance or just before you, right in front of you, if you find a large and a tawny beast. What do you mean tawny? Tawny is basically that, you know, that yellowish orange color, right? Okay, that's called tawny. And if you can see a large beast with yellowish color, if he roars at you as you are dying, okay, if he roars at you, obviously we know the Asian lion has got a specialty of its roaring. So if you see this orangish yellow color animal and if it is roaring, ensure that it is the Asian lion. Now go back. If he roars at you as you are dying. Why do you think the poet has used the word as you are dying? The reason is because of just by seeing the lion, and if it suddenly starts roaring, seeing and listening to the roar, because of the fear in us, we might die. So as you are dying, you will analyze and you will understand. As you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. See, only then, listening to the lion's roar, because of that fear, we will die. When you're dying only, you will realize it is an Asian lion. Okay, so very simply the poet has put the whole stanza very well. Okay, so we can just look into once more. Okay, for by chance, if you're going to the east side, and by chance in advance, you might find an orangish yellow kind of animal, and if you find this orangish yellow kind of animal, and if it's roaring at you, and listening to that roar, you're so scared and you die. And while you're about to die, you will realize it is an Asian lion. Okay, that's how you analyze an Asian lion. Okay, now one more thing I would like to tell you. You might have noticed the word how I have written here, D-Y-I-N. Okay, and why do you think I've written like that? It's not I have written, actually the poet has used the word D-Y-I-N. Okay, and this particular process is called poetic license. You might be wondering, what is poetic license? It's something which you have to know about it. It's like few words are changed by the poet. Okay, they have the thing, they have the license of changing few words. And why are they changing the words? So that they can ensure it is rhyming with other words. Now let's look at the rhyming scheme of the poem. Okay, chance, advance, east, beast, dine, lion. So as G is not there, dine, lion. Okay, so the rhyme scheme would be chance would be A, advance would be A, east B, beast B, C, C. So the rhyme scheme of the poem would be A B, A B, C C. Okay, so this is the rhyme scheme of the poem. So just to get that rhyme scheme, poet Carolyn Wells have used the poetic license and just took one particular letter and just to rhyme with lion, dine, lion. Okay, so I hope the first stanza is clear to you. Now we'll move on to the second stanza. So first stanza was about Asian lion. Now we'll see what is the poet trying to say in the second stanza. Or of some time when roaming around. So initially the first part was if you're traveling to east. Now second stanza, if sometime when you're just roaming around means just walking hither and thither, a noble wild beast greets you. If all of a sudden a beast comes next to you and greets you, when you see a person, you greet them good morning or saying hi or hello or maybe a shake hand. So if you see all of a sudden an animal coming in, obviously we will have a huge fear in our mind when you see a huge animal. So if you see a wild beast and it comes to greet you with black stripes on a yellow ground, okay, which means there's a yellow body with black stripes. Just notice if he eats you, this simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. So tigers, you know, they don't wait at you. Lion, obviously they roar at you and tell them, okay, I am the king. But over here, I'm sure you might have all seen the film The Lion the King. So over here they are speaking about the Bengal tiger. And to identify each animal, there's a particular thing you have to look into. Lion, it was orangish color and the roar. Bengal tiger, because that's a yellow body and the black stripes. I'm sure you're getting that image in your mind, right? That's a technique of imagery which is also used by the poet. Yellow body with black stripes is coming to greet you. Obviously the first thing tiger would do is tiger would just jump on you and eat you. He doesn't wait for anything. Tiger is like that. So if it's going to eat you, when it's eating you, you realize, oh, this is a Bengal tiger. So, or if sometime when you're just moving about and you see a noble Okay, such a huge, a great personality. A beast comes and greet you. How does it greet you? By eating, just falling on you. With black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule, what simple rule? This simple thing. If you see a yellow and huge animal with black stripes, the simple rule is you have to identify it's a Bengal tiger. Simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Discern means it might be a new word for you. Add into your vocabulary diary. Discern means basically to identify. Okay, so if you see that you can identify, it is the Bengal tiger. Okay, so that's about 2 stanzas. So now we will move on to the 3rd stanza. If strolling forth a beast you view. If strolling forth means if you're walking very casually. Okay, strolling forth means basically walking, but over here walking how? But walking very casually. Forth a beast you view. And if you're walking very casually and if you see a beast coming forward, whose hide with spots is peppered. Over here the word hide means basically his skin. Whose skin. So over here, if you're just walking in the jungle very casually and if you see a beast coming forward and the beast is coming forward, whose hide is, whose hide? The particular beast hide is, over here the poet is trying to mean about the particular beast's skin. Whose skin is hide with spots is peppered. Okay, the whole skin has got spots. I mean, look, all of a sudden it just looks as if it's completely peppered. So if you find an animal with a plain skin with a lots of spots, just like pepper powder, you know, black color, so just like peppered completely. If you just imagine you've got a yellow something food and if you have the pepper powder and if you're just putting that pepper powder, how it's just like spots, right? Okay, so exactly like that. Imagine you have an omelette and how you pepper it, right? Exactly like that. So if you see a huge animal, okay, in the beast while you're walking very casually, and if you can see this animal with a lot of spots peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, and what will this particular animal do? Animal will leap on you. Okay, L-E-A-P-T. Leapt, that's the right spelling. So over here the poet has used the spelling L-E-P-T as I told in the previous stanza. That is called the poetic license. You can find it everywhere, like over here it's lep again. So that's actually poetic license. So as soon as he leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. So leopard has got this particular thing of leaping, basically jumping on you. Okay, the leopard will jump on you. You might have heard about the way the leopard would jump. Okay, exactly like that. So if you find those spots on leopard's body and if you see the leopard's particularly jumping on you, then understand, realize it is a leopard. You will know it is a leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain. It will not good roar. Even if you are trying to roar or if you're trying to cry out of pain, okay, or if you're trying to cry, or it will not good to roar with pain. It is not, even if you cry, it is not going to change anything. It's going to be just the same. It will do no good. It's not going to make any change or make any amendments. If you roar or if you cry, there's no harm. It will just do leap again and again. He'll only leap and leap again. He will only jump on you again and again. That's the only thing he will do. Okay, nothing else he will do. Okay, so that's about the third stanza where the poet tried to see if you're just walking. Okay, if you're just walking in the jungle very casually, if you see a particular animal coming next to you where it's completely spots peppered, and if it's going to jump on you means basically you're going to die. Realize that's a leopard, and if you're going to cry or make a lot of noises, it's not going to help. Anyway, it will jump again and again. That's actually the meaning of the third stanza. Now we'll move on to the fourth stanza. It's very important. I don't know why, personally I like this stanza a lot because it's a little bit more humorous. If when you're walking around your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is a bear. You know, specialty of bear, you might have seen in the Animal Planet channel and all, the way bear is just like one mama figure, right? How it hugs you. Okay, so over here also the poet is speaking about the bear. It's not just a bear. Every bear, it kills a person by hugging very tight. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caress, one soft touch, or maybe one more hug. That's a bear. So if you're walking around a yard, anywhere you can see a bear there. If you're walking around the yard and you meet a creature there, you meet a huge creature over there, and that particular creature, it's not peppered, it doesn't have any stripes on the body, it does not roar, it does not have those tawny color, but if it hugs you means it's your death. Okay, that is the most humorous elements you can find. Who hugs you very, very hard. Okay, this can be the humorous elements, because if a question comes to pick out the humorous elements in the poem, this is very humorous. And over here, okay, even it will not good no humor, here also you can find a little bit of humorous elements coming up. So it will hug you very hard and realize it's the bear. If you have any doubts, I guess, to clear the doubt, what will the bear do? He'll give you one more hug, one more caress, one more hug it will give you, and then you'll realize it's a bear. Over here, you can find the word very is repeating, so it's a technique of repetition. Okay, and then what else? Yeah, hug is, again, you can say it's an ironical thing. Okay, why is an irony? Can someone think hard about it? What can the reason why it's called an irony? Because basically when you see a person whom you love after a long time, when you see a person, the first thing may be a shake and a hug. It's just a person note to show how much you love the person. So bear is showing that hug ironically. Why? Because it's going to eat you. That's the contrast. When human beings see each other, they hug. Bear also hug, but it is not the positive way, the other way. So in the fourth stanza, they're speaking about the bear. The bear has this particular feature of hugging. It's a huge beast kind of figure. Everything is there, but still, the main important feature of a bear is the hugging kind of notes. That is about the fourth stanza. So first stanza it was a lion. Second stanza it was again the Bengal tiger. Third stanza we came across the leopard, and the fourth stanza is the bear. Okay. Now we'll move on to the fifth stanza. Okay, so in all those other stanzas, we were knowing about the different kinds of animals, how we can identify those animals. Now moving on to fifth animal or fifth paragraph, actually a poet is trying to speak about two animals, and those two animals, one is the hyena and second one is about the crocodile. So we'll go line by line. Though to distinguish of prey, a novice might nonetheless, though to distinguish of prey among these great animals who are behind their prey, if a new person comes in, he might be completely nonplussed. Nonplussed means completely puzzled. A novice means something new. So if a new person is coming to a jungle or maybe in a place where the animals are there, a zoo kind of things, they might be completely confused or puzzled. Why they will be puzzled? Because the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Okay, so they are actually trying to differentiate between crocodile and hyena. Now how? Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. We know that the specialty of hyenas and crocodiles, both are completely different to look also. And there's something little different. You might have heard about the term called crocodile tears. If you find one of your sibling crying unnecessarily, putting you in danger, you'll say, please stop doing that. Crocodile smiles. It is actually very bad. So their specialty for crocodile, before finding its prey and before catching it, it will start weeping. That's one attribute to crocodile. And hyena is one animal you might have seen or in the jungle or maybe at least the pictures. Hyena specialties, hyena before catching its prey, it makes a particular sound and it resembles to human beings' smiles. So if you want to distinguish between these two animals, it's very easy. Hyenas will smile before they eat or before they find their prey. Crocodiles will always have the tears in their eyes. Okay, so a new person come, they might be confused. Why is this hyena making these kind of sound? Why is crocodile weeping? You might be a little confused, but this is a fact they make, and that's how they can be differentiated or distinguished. So that is the meaning of the 5th stanza. Now we'll move on to the 6th stanza. In the 6th stanza, the poet is trying to speak about one animal, and that animal is chameleon. You're very special. You know about the animal chameleon, and you might feel that chameleon and lizard is the same thing, but it's totally different. Okay, chameleon is one animal you might have seen. Always, it's seen on the trees, and it has got this particular attribute or specialty of changing its colors. Wherever they sit, that particular color it will be. If it's on a branch, brown branch, it will turn into brown. If it's on leaves, it will turn into green. So like that. Lizard is one animal which you might find it inside your houses. That's the difference. Now, the true chameleon is small. The true means the original. The original chameleon is small. A lizard sort of thing. It is like a lizard. When you look, yeah, it has got a lizard. He hasn't any ears at all. Chameleon doesn't have any ears. See, he hasn't, her. It's a device of alliteration. And not a single wing. So chameleon doesn't have ears, and chameleon doesn't have wings. If there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see. At times you might have looked into the tree, you might not find chameleon. Why you are not finding chameleon? Because chameleon has got this particular attribute of changing its color. Wherever they sit, it will change its color to a particular thing. If it's a branch or leaves or whatever it is. So if you don't find any other animal or birds on the tree, ensure that this particular animal is on the tree, and that animal is the chameleon who can continuously change colors. Okay, so in the 5th stanza we were distinguishing between crocodile and hyena, and this stanza we are speaking about the chameleon. Although we call chameleon for its true quality and all, but still we know chameleon is one animal who always goes on changing colors. That's actually the humorous thing what the poet is trying to portray over here. The true chameleon itself, it's not true, because it goes on changing its identity, you can say, because it keeps on changing the color. So the original chameleon, you cannot say it's true. Yeah, it always alters its colors. So it is like a lizard, but it has no ears, no wings, nothing. Only thing you can understand, if there's nothing on the tree, normally if you find the chameleon on the tree, and if you find no other creatures on the tree, ensure that there'll be one creature, and that is the chameleon. Okay, so that is about the poem 5th and 6th stanza. I hope it is clear. Okay, here you can find the alliteration of her sound. Also you can find another alliteration of a novice and non-plus sound as an alliteration. Yeah, I think that's all. This is about the alliteration technique. And also maybe if you can look into, I think yeah, all the rhymings are same throughout. Tray, may, non-plus, thus. So it's like AB, AB, smiles, crocodiles. It's again AB, AB, CC. So this is the thing what has been continuously to the poem. It's the same rhyme scheme here also. Small, all, thing, wing, tree, C. So A, B, B, C, C. So A, B, C, C. So like that, that's the rhyming scheme. So now we'll move on to the important poetic devices as well as the important questions of this poetry. Now we'll move on to the important poetic devices. The first one, rhyme scheme. I already explained to you what's the rhyme scheme. I have given proper examples also. In every stanza we're following the same rhyme scheme of A, B, C, C. During my explanation it was very clear, I suppose. Second one is inversion. Change in the sentence construction or format. You remember when I read the first stanza, I remember telling you one thing, that when you read that you might feel there's some error in the sentence. I'll give you an example. And if there, should to you advance. So when you listen to that for the very first time, you feel there's some error, and that error is called inversion. Change in the sentence construction or format. Okay, that is actually an error, but it said like poet has the right to do it. Okay, that technique is called inversion. Third one is the illusion. Illusion is referring to like a great personality, okay, who is dead, referring to a particular place, or referring to a particular thing, a tomb or something, or referring to, like for example, referring to Taj Mahal, or maybe great things, popular places like maybe Delhi, Red Fort, or maybe animals. So over here he's trying using illusion for referring to animals, Bengal tiger, okay, and then the bear, and also Asian lion. So these Asian lion, Bengal tiger and all are like known species. So for using those, that particular technique is illusion. The next one is enjambment, continuation of a sentence. I'm just giving an example of the first stanza. Okay, so it's like continuing from one sentence, second sentence, so that is called actually an enjambment. And if there should do you advance, no punctuation mark, a large and tawny beaks, and then the comma. So it's like all of a sudden you don't find it, and then next sentence is blank, and the very next sentence you have a punctuation mark, and that is called an enjambment. Enjambment is you'll have a sentence without a punctuation mark, and then the next sentence when you have a punctuation mark, that continuation is called enjambment. Next is alteration, very familiar to you. It's actually the repetition of the consonant sound. N sound has been repeated, that's called, you still have many more, okay, alliteration. Sixth one is the poetic license. As you can see in the very first stanza, if you take the last few words, okay, I'll write an example over here. These are the words I'm taking from the first stanza. Chance, east, advance, dine, line. So when you look into these words to get the rhyme scheme, as I told you, it's A, B, C, C. So to get this is A and this is B. Yeah, so east, beast is also there. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, A, B, beast, dying, line. So we know the word, it is actually dying. Okay, so instead of writing the G, he just omitted one letter. That is called poetic license. Of the poet has got a license to omit or to deduct one particular letter just for the proper rhyme scheme. Okay, that's called a poetic license. Now repetition technique, you know, like repetition of few words. If you look into the stanza where he speaks about bear, he says if you meet the creature and who hugs very very hard, that is actually repetition when the words are repeated. So over here it's a very very poetic license. The example is dying. And alteration, I told you, enjambment, I said two sentences without a punctuation marks. Illusion, I told you, it's about over here like Asian lion can be an example. Inversion, I told you about the great example of inversion is the third line, if they should to you, and if there is coming in the first stanza rhyme scheme, you know. So these are the poetic devices. Now we'll move on to the important questions of this poetry. Every single time one question repeats, that is what I've written here in the first part. So ensure you know the question well as the answer, because it's quite often repeated question. So we'll move on to the first question. Give some examples of humorous elements or even humorous descriptions in the poem. We know that humor is basically the fuel of life. To make a person cry, anybody can do it, but to make a person laugh, it's very 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 difficult. Over here, Carol is trying to make humor as like the most important or essential part in the life. To describe the wild animals, she is using this technique of humor. And you know, people nowadays are full of in the mixed emotions like tension, problems and everything, and in between that Carol has written a poem like this. So over here, if you can look into the poem, you can say the poet describes the wild animals, and we can never ever take these humorous elements. If we look look into one by one, the Asian tiger, it roars. Okay, listening to the roar, you might die. Okay, because of the fear in your mind. This is the first humorous elements. What about the bear? That's the most funny element. The bear can even enter to your territory, and to understand or to realize whether it is a bear, it would hug. And if you didn't understand that it's a bear, it will hug more tight, one more caress. With that, you'll realize it's a bear. So each animal you will understand only when you are in the verge of death. That is the humorous element which is the poet trying to portray over here. So like that, each animals, like if you look into the hyenas smile. Okay, and that smile is obviously compared to the human smile. Okay, so before it kills someone, when it finds its prey, it smile. Crocodile has those tears. So all this can be put in as the humorous element. So you have to in detail describe the humorous elements in every stanza. Only then the answer will be complete. So as an introductory part, you can write humor is essential in the life, and also you can mention like today the people are facing a lot of problems, emotional concerns, tension, stress, etc. In midst of that, Carol, in the 19th, end of the 19th and the beginning of 20th century, she has written this poetry in purpose, and is trying to portray the wild animals in a humorous way. Okay, and then you can mention about each and every animal. Now we'll move on to the second question. Can a novice distinguish wild animals? Novice, we told, if a new person comes in, it will be a difficult task for him. He will be a little confused or puzzled. But to understand hyenas will have a smile, and crocodiles will have a tears before it eats. From that, you can understand or distinguish. You might feel, okay, why is this animal doing like that? But then you'll be able to distinguish. Third question. How does the poet describe the bear? I told you, bear is one animal. You can see when the stanza begins, he says, when you're walking in your yard, which means the human territory, okay, you can find a bear. And the way the bear would greet you is, the bear would come and hug you tight. And still, if you have a doubt which animal is it, it'll give you one more caress, and then you will know it's a bear. So bear is known to have a hug, very, very hard hug. That's how bear is being explained in the particular poem. Last question. What do you learn about the leopard from this poem? We know leopard has one specialty of leaping on you. Okay, leapt, the word used in the textbook. Okay, jumping on you. Okay, and leopard, how can you identify leopard? Leopard will have this kind of yellowish color ground, and on this yellowish color ground it will have spots like peppered. Peppered means completely covered with spots. So if you see a yellow body with completely like peppered, completely covered with spots, then you can identify it's a leopard. And how will you realize a leopard? Leopard will leap on you. Then you understand it's a leopard. Okay, so these are the important questions. So among these questions, I'm sure this is the important question. You have to know in length what are the humorous elements, and the use of humorous elements by Carolyn in this poem very clearly. You should speak a lot about that. Okay, so these are the important questions. I hope it was very clear to you. I gave you stanza wise explanation, poetic devices, as well as important questions. I hope it was a very, very important and essential video for you. So please do ensure you subscribe, you like, and also you share with your friends. If there are any of your friends who would like to know more about it, so please share it with them too. You're just doing a good thing to them. Okay, so please do it. And if you have any doubts, please put it in the comment box. I will be replying. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session. Have a good time. Bye.